Okay. Hey, so excited to be here today on our Saturday podcast. I happen to be here with Kirk. And Kirk, listen, really excited to have you. You've been a lifelong learner with us, and we've got some, great topics that we're going to talk about today. Anything before we even get started with, I'm going to grill you on questions, which is going to be a lot of fun here. But anything before we get started you want to share about what you're doing today?
Tony, at conference when you're dressed as Ken from the Ken and Barbie movie, and everyone was calling you Kenergy,
That's right.
but inside of all the fun that you brought to that conference and to that moment, I love this conversation when you're like, "Hey, Kirk, I'm starting this podcast," and even before you said I'd like to be a guest on it, I was thinking I'd like to be a guest on that. So I'm glad that we're here making this happen. And you
That's
look great, and I love what you're doing. So my first thing before you start asking me questions is let me
okay.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who's your target audience with this? And there was, are you, because you're kind of, you're so well known in the tech world, right? The whole support community,
Right.
IT support community. So you're so well known there. But tell me about the bigger vision for this podcast. It looks great. TED Talk Tony.
Tech Talk Tony. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. I started actually doing podcasts in 2014 when I worked for Como TV, Sinclair
Okay.
Digital, and a buddy of mine that I met, he's a talk show host on the radio, said, "Hey, once a week, why don't you come on over? You can bring all your tech stuff, and we'll pick a tech topic each week." And then from that, I'll ask you, I'll grill you questions about how does, cybersecurity work? How does the dark web work? And we'll just educate my radio listeners. And that's actually how Tech Talk Tony started. Now, I didn't think it would turn into anything, but that was 3 years worth of content. And then beginning this year, since I had already started and I've met a lot of people in my 27 countries and 42 states for work,
Right.
I've found a lot of leaders and they want to share. And so that's this year I decided to take it seriously, do the Saturday podcast and just interview the great people that I've
Oh my
met and
gosh.
share some of the things that they have so we can
I'm
all
so
learn.
glad they want to share. You know what? They should share.
Yeah.
At some point in your life, right? You're like, if you, I think if, I don't want to lump everyone in.
Yeah.
I think at some point in our life, it seems like that the older we get, healthy people in my circle, let me just say that healthy people in my circle, the older they get, the more grateful they become. Like, man, I couldn't have done any of these things without this person believing in me, pushing me,
True.
believing in me, holding me accountable, having a hard talk with me, and so then you're like, I'm so grateful. And then this gratitude, like, I need to give this away. I've been given so much. So to hear that these leaders want to share what they've been given that's helped them so far, and then you providing a venue for that, man, I'm in. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think a lot of people, I mean, everybody's got their own story, and down the
yeah,
road,
yeah,
maybe I'll
yeah.
share more of my story. But I grew up as a juvenile felon, right? I was in trouble as a kid.
Right.
And so I've already kind of been there, done that in the worst part that you feel is your life. And so then when I was able to pick up technology and then I became a speaker and then I got to know so many different people and personalities, I really wanted to give back. And now having a voice, being a speaker, this was a great venue. So
I love
I,
it.
I
I
so
love it.
much
Well,
appreciate the opportunity to
well,
do so.
let's talk. Let's